Why was being part of this book so important to you? I know we all have our own justifications and our own reasons, so I'd love to hear from as many of our authors as possible. I'll stop share. Anybody want to kick it off? Cheryl, your hand's up first. You go, girl.
Diane was a complete stranger to me, and thank you, Diane, for approaching me. This was so dear to my heart. I wrote my first book, Heal Your Neck Issues and Let Your Throat Chakra Shine. It's all about shining your light. And then I wrote my second book, Client Magnet, The Coach's Guide to Attract Ideal Clients Through Spiritual Awareness. And on that book cover is the picture of a lighthouse. And it's symbolic of helping your clients find their way home. And so as soon as I got to know a little bit more about the book, I was just like, I have to contribute. I must be a part of this project no matter what. And so I'm eternally grateful. And I think the biggest thing for me is to see that I'm not the only one doing this work. We are all doing this work. Everybody here, even in attendance, is doing this work. And part of the most marvelous thing about attending this tonight is that it just reaffirms that humanity is evolving to levels we couldn't even dream of at one point in time, right? And that's what this is all about. Be the lighthouse you were born to be. Step into your greatness, and that we are all helping others. We're helping each other. And so thank you for asking that question. I am truly and deeply honored. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Cheryl. That's a beautiful story. And I love lighthouses, and that's where I was heading in my journey. So you'll read about mine in the story as well. Who else would like to jump in there and share?
I just want to go back and say a little bit about sort of the sharing piece and the rebuilding and stuff. So, and I love that everybody here is to help other people sort of rebuild by finding the spark within them. And that's huge. And I love that it is all physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like it's all the pieces wrapped up in one book. And that's pretty freaking special, in my opinion. And I think some of us have been sort of on the run of the whole journey, because in my story, you will see that I've survived after a major accident and a stroke and a heart attack, and bringing myself back together and being able to go from not being able to speak or read or write to be able to write and contribute to a book is a pretty friggin' awesome. It's not a beginning, it's not an ending, it's a big piece of the whole thing, right? And I just really think that everybody needs to know that it's all in bite-sized pieces. And if this minute's hard, it's okay, there's another minute. If this hour's hard, it's okay, there's another hour and day, and so on and so on. So, I think being able to give people a little hope in every story is huge. And I'm really proud to be a part of this book and to eventually get to know more people now that this piece of the puzzle's over that are on this call. And especially some of the co-authors of it that I haven't had a chance to reach out to. So I think that's huge for pulling all the pieces together for all of us.
Fabulous, Kathleen. And your story amazes me every time I hear bits and pieces of it. It gives me chills from one end to the other, and to know where you came from and where you are now is such an incredible achievement, and kudos to you and to your family for that support that you needed to get through there. For those of you who don't know, one of the things we haven't really said out loud, and it's been alluded to in some of the conversations, we don't all know Diane personally, and sometimes we're connected through somebody else. So for example, Kathleen invited me, and I invited 3 more people. So it's that old story of she told 2 friends, and she told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends, and how it morphs. And that's how Diane ended up being an international bestseller with authors in Canada, US, and France on her team. So woohoo! That's how we get to where we are, is we are stronger together, and that this book speaks volumes for all of us about the power of togetherness. And it's certainly one of the things that I take away and feel very honored to be part of. I'm super excited from my perspective. One of the biggest things is stretching my courage muscle. I can stand here and I can be your hostess with the mostess for the evening, but there are things that I still need to stretch in my own self. And so stretching that courage muscle, definitely putting pen to paper and sharing that with the world is something that has taken me outside of my comfort zone. And I'm honored that it is a piece that I get to take with me forever. And to be surrounded by such phenomenal people is awesome. So thank you for that, Diane. Anybody else want to add to their story and why it was important to be part of this book?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Thanks, David.
Gosh, I think it was back in February. John Blystone contacted me, and he knew of the work that I do and that we do with our nonprofit. And he just invited me to coffee one time and sat down. He says, "Hey, I've got a proposal for you. How would you like to submit work?" And then I'm like, "What?" And he started explaining about what Diane was trying to put together. And I thought, well, yeah, it'd be okay. I thought it'd be some, there's some kind of little pamphlet or something, not really a book. And I thought, oh, yeah, sure, I'll contribute. And as time went on there, after I made my submittal, I started realizing just what a true earth angel Diane is, and the joy and the passion and the delight that was just manifesting throughout me as this started growing, as I started seeing what John saw early on, because he was excited and he had this sight about him saying, "This is, you really want to get involved with this." And I am so thankful. I am just so thankful. And thank you again for everything that's going on here and all you participants. I just feel so embraced. So love and blessings, everyone.
Thank you so much, David. We're feeling it right back at you. Awesome. Miss Fran, I see you, and then Suki.
Hello. Well, when Diane reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to be part of it, I go, "What exactly is your book about? What's going on?" And I went, okay, well, I'd made a decision this last year after 11 years of an accident I was in that almost debilitated me and changed a lot in my life. And times they tried to take me out in surgeries, and one, I only had about 5 to 6 hours to live. And so I said, okay, she reached me at the right time because I just turned 70 May 1st, and my whole life has totally changed. Thank you. And I had a journey of a year. I couldn't walk. I couldn't use my arms. I had to sell my business. I had a coffee shop for years, and it goes on. And I said, "Do you want me to share something like that?" And then my husband, 4 years ago, we were hiking in the mountains in Canada. There we go, international, and had a massive heart attack up there. And so it was another journey, but God. And it really has been life-changing. And Karen knows my whole story, and she's known me for years, and Diane too. And so as I'm writing this, I'm really putting it out there. But it was my goal at 70 to restart my heart-to-heart group up. And it's actually changed a little bit with Be Heart and Soul Happy. Because that journey, I had lost 101 pounds 2 years prior to this accident, and helped a lot of people regain their lives back. And then everything was taken away from me. And I'd put on weight because of the medications and on and on. And so on goes my life, but I never lost that spirit to be a light and shine. And, no matter what you're going through, God can bring you through anything. And I thank him every day, and I just, life's good. Life's good. And, but it's not without challenges and trials and tribulations. So this book, as I'm writing this, I'm crying through it and doing it. I go, Anne, and she goes, Fran, you haven't said enough. And if you remember sending that back to me, I go, you mean tell the story? She goes, yes, Fran, tell the story, the journey. And so I'm just so honored and so blessed and looking forward to bringing people on board into my private group because we all need each other in one way or the other. We can't do any of this alone. And so many of the stories I've already read of you people and all you co-authors of this book. Well, yeah, it's a tearjerker because it's life. It's life. It's your journey, and it's totally a mindset thing. So thank you for allowing me to be part of it, Diane, and love you, Karen. I see you and I just can't stop crying. That woman has done so much in my life. Back when how I met Karen, when I go live stream, I'm not doing a live stream. And she goes, oh, Franny, you can do it. And I'm in ministry, full-time ministry with my husband. And I says, I have a problem getting up and talking in ministry groups with women, but live stream? I don't think so. Well, she is the reason I live stream and met so many of you already. And thank you. Love you so much. Love you, Diane. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for sharing that passion with us, Fran. And here you are. You might not be live streaming on the internet, but we're certainly live here with 53 other amazing people who are sharing this journey with us. So thank you for that, Fran. Suki, jump in.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I thought I was unmuted. But so I joined this project because of Diane. Diane and I have known each other kind of on the periphery of Seven Networking for a couple of years, maybe a year and a half. And I've always felt this, this welcoming, this warmth from her. And this is my year of writing. So I was a co-author in a book last fall, and then I had a page a day thing earlier this year. And then when Diane asked, I was like, okay, I'm going to get to know Diane better. And it's an opportunity because I'm writing a book of my own. It's an opportunity of me to hone my story. And even now, I feel like I would have written it completely different the way I think now versus a few months ago, right? But I really wanted to be part of it because of Diane. I wanted to get to know her better. And then what has made me extremely excited about it. So I was happy to be in the book. But what made me excited about it was the first group author meeting that we had. And I realized the company I was in, and I thought, holy crap, I better bring my A game. Because these people are powerful. Their stories are powerful. What they do for the world is powerful. And what they're putting out into the world through the book, through Diane, is powerful. And so I had a gradual awakening to the power of the book, but I originally joined because I wanted to know Diane better, and I feel I have in a little way. And I'm honored to be part of it, and honored to be asked, and I'm just completely honored to be in this company.
Thank you, Suki. I know that I felt the same way when we were in that first meeting where we were starting to get to know each other and how that felt. And it's, I got to show up with the best of me. So awesome. Sherry, do I see your hand up? You're unmuted.
It was.
Excellent.
Am I good?
Yes. Yep.
I have so many thoughts going in my head, and it's hard to articulate This group is so amazing, and I am, Fran, as you were speaking, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. And Suki, when you were speaking, I'm like, oh yes, that's, I am one of Bernice's 3 people who she brought to this project. And she just popped up one night, sent me a message and invited me to this project, and I didn't even hesitate and just said yes. And if you know me as Bernice does, that is huge for me. And so, but it's just felt right every step of the way. I thank you for the opportunity, and what I hope that people are able to take away from my contribution to this collaboration is to not overlook in your daily life, to not overlook the opportunity to shine a light in ways that may not be obvious, to always be looking for opportunity, because you don't know what impact you are going to have just in the things that you do naturally. You've been given those gifts for a reason, and as you use them, you are making change that you don't even realize. And not to overlook, some things look so obvious, and so if we train ourselves each day to actually kind of give some attention to the less obvious, then we can shine a light in the dark places that other people miss. And yeah, that's what I hope.
That's really powerful, Sherry. And I'm sending Sherry messages saying, I need to hear your voice. So I'm pushing her out of her comfort zone all the time, and she knows that's what my job is to get her going and make sure. So I'm so proud of you, Sherry, for being part of this project and just saying yes, because sometimes that's all we need to do is say yes when these opportunities present themselves, and to show up and to be heard in a whole new way with a whole new audience. So thank you for that. Anybody else want to add to their comments? You'll notice that I'm starting to put winners in the messages. I have over 20 prizes and almost $6,000 in prizes that I'm giving away. So check the messages. I want to make sure that they're all out. We promised you 90 minutes, and we're in the home stretch of the last 15 minutes. I know you want more. I know you want to hear more from all of these incredible authors. So I don't want to waste time announcing the winners. I want to make sure that you get to hear from them. So anybody else want to add to why it was so important for them to be here? John, I see you waving at me. Jump in.
No, I need to quickly, I have to support David because he and I are so outnumbered in this, and the other David, as far as the men go. But I remember when I got the gist of what was going to happen in this book, and I heard about some of the people that were in there, I knew that probably he was going to speak to the last light that some people may see. And I think that's extremely important because, you know, a lot of us are talking, well, how are we helping somebody now? How are we going to change their life going forward? And that's awesome. I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to try and do? But I knew that he is dealing with people who he knows that the end is near. They know that the end is near. And a lot of people would want to make it as dark as possible. I just want to have this over with, and he has to step in, and he is making these people feel the warmth of that light as they transition their way out of this life. And, you know, that's why I knew that I had to get him in there, but I couldn't. I guess I sold him from what he said. I guess I sold him good enough, but excuse me. It's fascinating to hear all of the people. And I see that there's a lot of people that already knew that they had a power, and they knew they had a way of affecting others. But I think there's a good group in here that this book helped them figure that out. They might have had an inkling, but they didn't know for sure. And I think after this and being in this project, they know, because I know. And I think that's the coolest part of this, for me anyway.